Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Luce, and tonight we're going to be finishing up the Myths of the Realm storyline as we enter the final phase of the 24-player Alliance raid. Part of the myth. Derek is awaiting word from Kryl. Coda, 'tis good for you to come, but I'm afraid there's still no word from Kryl and Grahatea. They're working as fast as they can to compile findings of our investigation, I shouldn't doubt. But between the Phantom Realm's etheric data and the Monument's epigraph, they have much and more to review. Now, while awaiting developments, I have a mind to place Nogima a visit in the Omphalos. If you aren't otherwise occupied, you should come too. I suppose I have nothing better to do. I was just, farming reputation and stuff. Sadly, my connection was so absolutely horrible last week. I only got like 2 whole days of streaming, and even the usual Tuesday stream was hit pretty hard, so I couldn't even finish my tome farming, if you could believe that. The capped tomes, I mean. Mysterious Gate. For the record, I have seen the armor sets from the third tier I'm coming up to, which, I hate to be harsh, but it's probably my least favorite of the three. As you can see, I'm actually wearing the Abyssos outfit, but I do like the, first two, raid gears for this. Ook ook. Snowgime has become something of a fixture here. So focused is she on her work, she often neglects taking sustenance. I pray that her health doesn't suffer. And I guess while I'm waiting for the queue, once I get to that point, I might give my thoughts, because now that I've had time to let sink in, I can let my patch raid story arc stuff go on. Uh, the patch, the story arc with the Golbez and the Four Fiends, I mean. Whatever it's called. The 6.x story, patch storyline part. Yeah, you know what I mean. Oh, but isn't Kota and Derek? Oh, but no Kryl or Raha, I see. Unfortunately, speaking of whom, would you not prefer to be with them in Charlian? I mean, you are a researcher too, after all. I find myself much more effective in the field. Being here gives me inspiration, you see, and as of late I've been mulling over the opening words, the epigraph. As beings who endure by the will of the star, we're susceptible to influence of hopes and prayers, lest we commit our yokes herein, lest we stray from our purpose. Yeah, we got that last time. We, They may very well be the remnants of the faction that created Heidelin, but we don't know for sure. The suggestion that faith has shaped the nature of the 12 paints a truly intriguing picture. That is true. In fact, I even pointed out during the last raid, the fact that Menfina had a hound Dalamund is rather surprising. The whole reason it was said she had a hound was because the 2 moons were supposedly proof of her presence, but the thing is, this planet has no natural moons. One was the container for Bahamut, one was the spaceship for us to escape the universe in if we were incapable of defeating the Endwalker final boss there, so by all means it shouldn't exist, and yet here it is. So the faith, the people that thinking that she had one must have shaped it in some fashion. If truth be told, I was also hoping I might speak with the gods again. But they haven't graced us since the time we solved the mystery of the monument. They only do so on exceptional occasions, it seems. Yeah, either they aren't allowed to, except in certain circumstances, or they can't in certain circumstances, or they have a reason for that. Be that as it may, I believe there might be another way for us to see them. When we journeyed to the gods, Asmaya told me that each of them wished to speak with you in private. You, Kota, if you were to call them before their heavens, I have the feeling they would answer. Uh... Oh, you won't even give it a try? Afterwards, let us know what they said. Well, I for one see no harm in it. But if you are disinclined, do not feel pressured. It's entirely your decision. You now have the opportunity to speak with those of the 12 whom you've encountered so far. To do so, call them for the entrances of the specific heavens. You may advance the quest at any time. Derek. Now, which one is my bin of ice? Interesting. Fenrir Pup is supposed to be Halone, but that one may not be her. Heaven of Ice. Whom will you call? Let's go with Menfina first. I see no harm in it. Oh, Coda, what a delightful surprise. You wish to see me, do you not? Truly grateful we can talk like this. As you know, I'm the goddess of love, yet obviously that doesn't mean I have a monopoly on love. For instance, my brethren love mankind with all their hearts, just like me. And whether or not all Sean is my beloved as mortals believe, I have more than enough in my heart for everyone, be it men or gods. I love all alike. And needless to say, I do love my adorable Dalaman too, whom you and yours gifted to me. I guess I would like to ask a bit about that in particular. Actually, who's my character's guardian again? Patron, I guess, would be the term. Nymeia, the spinner. That's the heaven of water. Thought, haven't we done the heaven of earth? Oh, yeah, that's heaven of wind. We have not done heaven of wind yet. Right, we can get Nymeia here because she joined up with her brother. We haven't actually seen the heaven of water yet, only ice, because in this game, ice and water are two separate elements. Nymeia is probably the one I should have done first, but I want to go with Menfina first. She's more relevant to the Moonseeker Makodes, and my character is technically Sunseeker, but I like to headcanon that he's a child of both, and he kind of renamed himself when he decided to leave on an adventure, and, reinvent himself. Well now, if it is my dear Adherent Kota, how good of you to call me. Sorry if I gave you a shock joining my brother in battle, but I just could not help it myself. We've always done everything together, he and I. She's the goddess of fate, and he's the goddess of time, I believe, so it makes sense they'd be siblings. Fine, but I was hoping to have this opportunity to speak with you. Such a joy it was to face you and yours. You displayed the self-same determination that allowed you to defy fate, and it was one surprise after another. But yeah, I do think these two would, in particular, hold personal relevance to my character, with her, of course, being the major one. Might as well go with all of them, just to see, but I want to get those two out of the way immediately, because they felt most relevant to my character, from a purely in-character standpoint. Yeah, Hourglass, Sands of Time, that sort of thing. Kotis, I must say, there's something to be said for being summoned by a mortal. The life of man is but a drop in the great river of time, thus you or yours want to rush ahead, not wasting a single moment. Be that as it may, certain sights will only come into view if one stops to look, so be not afraid to pass time in ways which at first may not seem fruitful. Should you dare to do so, you may well be visited by an eye-opening experience, such as the richness of time. I'm surprised Nymeia is perfectly fine with the idea of defying fate itself, but then again, sometimes you'd prefer a fate to be avoided. Guess we can check out Nafako while we're here, just complete the set. arrives. Kota, you wish to speak, do you? Little if that's fine with you. Tell me, have you ever met an elemental? Many hold they were born of me, and as I mentioned, they are the voice of those who abide by the Twelve's wood. At times they seem excessive in their actions, but it is out of abundance of love, so pray be good to them and heed their warnings. Actually, I met them in the White Mage storyline quest. We managed to save some very important stuff. I'll loop back around and go back to Halone. We haven't gone to the Heaven of Wind, whatever that middle one is, because that's not any of the heavens. That's the Heaven of Light. Wait, we should have done the Heaven of Lightning, shouldn't we? Oh no, that's the Heaven of Lightning. That's the Heaven of Fire. I think that one's the Heaven of Water. And that one's the Heaven of Wind. So those are going to be the last two we have to do. I guess in a way I'm glad Nymeia did come a little early, because that means my character got to speak with her for a bit. I did look it up afterward, and apparently if you watched my previous stream or looked up Menfina's theme or played the game yourself, apparently that her battle theme is based off of a prayer by the Seekers of Moon clan, Makode. Likewise, Naldthal is supposed to be a prayer of sorts from Ul'dah, since they're the one that the city holds in highest regard. Azemia. Let's go with the goddess of fire first, and then we'll do the gods of trade. Ah, Kota, at last you've come. I was right to entrust your zealous scholar companion with the message. Ever since our meeting, I knew I simply must see you again. Really? There's something familiar about you. You've awakened forgotten feelings, feelings once smothered like embers amidst the ashes. Perhaps you resemble someone I knew long ago, yet whatever the reason, your presence gives me comfort and warmth. May your light ever burn bright. Yeah, if they are the remnants of the collaborators with Hydaelyn, then Azem did provide some assistance, but ultimately did not join them in their ritual to create the goddess. Interesting. Let's speak with the gods of trade. They're two gods, but one. They're two, yet still one. Kind of like the ones in Elden Ring, except here they're twin brothers, so it actually makes a semblance of sense as to how that works. Kota, we bid you welcome. Know that we appear as two beings, a dual-aspected divinity, but 'twas not always so. Man's hopes harbor power, and 'twas his faith, favored, offered over millennia, that shaped us to our present form. In answer to your faith, we, the traders, shall watch over mankind as he strives for that which he most desires. And I believe that counts for both physical and spiritual goods, so to speak. Alright, Heaven of Lightning. The Builder and the Destroyer, Byrgot and Ralgar. Heaven of Lightning. Start with Byrgot the Builder, then. Ah, Coda, pleased I am that you would seek me out. I had wished to speak with you. It does me well to see you've been dedicating yourself to crafting. In my capacity as the builder, I watch your progress upon this path with keen interest. Oh, he doesn't... Oh, I guess he appreciates that I'm using it to be productive. I mentioned I only really do crafting for the sake of the crafting tribal quest lines, but that's still... That's being productive. That's you farming reputation by doing things that help them out, after all. The act of crafting embodies the spirit of improvement and advancement. It is my hope you will ever strive forward and seize that which you desire most with your own hands. Now Ralgar, the Destroyer. Two sides of the same coin, and yet both are necessary. Well, well, if it isn't the dauntless Kota, full glad am I that you would thus call to me. When you and yours investigated the origins of the Fist of Ralgar, you posited some very interesting theories, the connection between myself and the Sylph's divinity in particular. You did well to draw that conclusion. Oh yeah, because he looked kind of similar to Ramu, complete with the giant beard. Your inquiring minds have taken you far, child of man, and they'll take you further still. Interesting. So that means the Sylph's deity worship of him originally came from Ralgar, is the implication I'm getting there. Now, I could be completely wrong, but that's what I that's kind of what I got from that there. Did the gods appear? And I guess they wanted you to decide for yourself how much you actually cared about wanting to meet each and every one of them. I see no reason not to. We're still missing a few, but well, I am lucky that at least mine managed to stay by. I'm not sure if the one we pick is going to actually matter too much, but I guess we'll see. As I said, it is kind of a shame that Nymeia was with her brother there, so we won't get a dedicated fight to her, but I suppose, well, first of all, they are close siblings, and it's probably for the best, as there are some siblings that aren't completely, that have a good relationship, you know? Halone. How bold you are to summon me, Koda. 'Tis no less that I expect from you, in recognition of your valor and deeds. Offer a word of counsel. Well, do I know the power of men's hopes and mortal faith, and there is no faith that I can reject? Ah, yet in every age there are those who invoke the name of the divine for their own ends. Be not misled by them. Ah, I see. So whenever they call for faith, she can't overlook anyone. Huh, interesting. Let's go with Nymeia one last time in case. I'll see if the conversation either repeats or we still don't know what this last one is though. It doesn't look like it's a heaven like these, but we do know that there's one other. Hey, Nymeia, is this conversation going to repeat, or will you give me something special since you're my patron deity in particular? It's kept vague how yeah, it's repeating. Kind of interesting that all the gods are being depicted quite benevolently in this game so far. Well, I guess to be fair, we also had to deal with a lot of the gods that were not quite so benevolent. I mean, we ended up facing a lot of malevolent ones as primal battles for quite a while after all, even if later we did find out they were gods made from creation magic itself. Spoken to your satisfaction, have you? Then let's await Cry on Gratia together. Alright, so yeah, they basically decided however many of them you want to speak to, we won't make you. Still no sign of them. That's odd. How am I going to do the next raid fight if they don't show up? It's gonna be quite embarrassing. Ah. Oh yes, there's been something I've been meaning to ask you. I don't remember what voice I gave him last time, so I'm just giving him a new one each time, because that's very professional, right? As an adventurer, you're better traveler most. Have the places you've seen. Which ones have you liked the best? Bustling hubs, natural environments, faraway lands with new encounters. I enjoy solitude. Faraway lands where new encounters await. Ah, yes, I can imagine you being given to such, with a thrill of visiting unknown places is something I can understand. I myself am partial to wandering Eorzea, so rich in ether this land, possessed of so many aspects. 'Twas when I was traveling through the Twelves Wood I encountered this fellow. I know not how he came injured and alone, but I couldn't turn a blind eye. Yeah, I think he brought him up in the, start of the raid story. He has long since recovered. I probably should have returned him to his forest home, but when I see him there, undaunted by the presence of gods, I can't help but feel 'twas fate that delivered him unto me. Delivered him to me. I don't need to make it more flowery dialogue in ours. Still, the day will come when we must part ways. Why are you giving death flags? Please don't give me death flags, Derek. We've actually had a pretty good story so far. The hair, finally hair, everyone. Oh, perfect. Oh, welcome back. How your work? I think I mentioned that there was some speculation during the preview stuff for the patch that Zero or Kryl might change to one of the Dawn Trail jobs. Hasn't happened, but I guess we'll see. How fared your work? It took longer than we anticipated, but we managed to compile our findings and thence deliberated a course of action. Indeed, hereon we will need to tread with caution. The waveforms we recorded with the etheric analyzer revealed an unsettling occurrence. In the course of fighting us, the gods expended a tremendous amount of their ether, so much as to dilute their very essence. That's odd. Lest you worry, you've done no wrong, Kota. The gods themselves wish to fight, after all. Do they think their purpose is done or something? That being said, we shall go and avoid engaging further battle until we learn more about their true objective. Honestly, I think I might have an idea about it. That being, well, they want to leave now that their jobs are done or something. I mean, if they were the allies of Heidelin, then, well, Heidelin herself left because her job was done. To that end, we will seek out the 13th unnamed being whose duty is to watch unflinching. If Ra is correct, we have no reason to believe otherwise. Said being is the Watcher on the moon. You'll be pleased to know I've already acquired permission to use the Tower of Babil from the Ilsabard contingents who oversee the structure with the Guardian people's leave. We're really going to the moon? Huzzah! I wonder what the Watcher's like. If there are no other matters, let's set forth there at once. If you still wish to speak with the gods, best seek them out now. They may not be there later. Okay, yeah, they're giving me one last chance if I didn't, for any reason. I can't go to the Heaven of Water or Wind, but I can go to the others, I suppose. As I found out, they just repeat. But yeah, this is definitely the kind of game world where we learn faith causes things to become reality. And so it makes sense that even the gods themselves would be shaped among the prayers, especially since, well, first of all, their existence can also beget others, since Rauger directly stated that, well, he didn't directly state, but he gave the implication that the Sylph's deity was highly likely to be based off him. And Halone did warn that faith in her cannot be ignored no matter what, so a lot of people are going to use it will, of course, use that to their own ends. Very interesting. Greetings, Highlands Champion. You're ever welcome here, as are your companions. It's a pleasure to meet you, Watcher. We come hoping you would answer us some questions about Heidelin. We deciphered the monument at the heart of the Phantom Realm. In addition to the names of duties of the 12, it speaks of one who is unnamed who shall watch unflinching. Are we correct in assuming that that individual is you? The 12 have existed for eras. If you know aught about them, will you not share your knowledge with us? They have a desire which they claim can only be fulfilled through battle with mankind, and we wish to understand what that is. Please. So man has managed to come this far. Very well, you've earned the right to know. Remember, however, that I am but a creation, though I have been imbued with some memories of the past. They are far from complete. Right, he's not a true ancient, he's simply based off one. First of all, I am indeed the unnamed being which the monument describes. I guess that makes sense. An entity created by Hydaelyn to serve a purpose alongside the 12. Together, they were charged with preserving equilibrium on a sundered and unstable stable star. Like myself, they were given shape from people who once existed. And like myself, they believe the world should be entrusted to the new life that has emerged. While I do not possess detailed memories of that time, Venat selected those she deemed best suited to their respective duties. That would explain why the 12 appear to have personalities like mortals. The men and women they once were influenced their personalities, yes, but so too did the faith of mortals. Knowingly or no, when men pray, they will the object of worship to assume a form that can better grant them their heart's desire. And given what we know, it seems that can be for better or for worse. In this matter, have the 12 been shaped over eons into images that fit the men's ideals. So you're right, Raha. Hopes and prayers do have the power to influence the gods. Yet, even as they have changed, at Venat's behest, they would have refrained from intervening in mortal affairs. As a result, there will have been times they acted in ways that are contrary to your expectations. So yeah, they just straight up aren't allowed to interfere. But now that Hydaelyn is no more and the final days are averted, the 12 have arrived at a decision regarding their fate all on their own. It is not for me to reveal the truth of that desire. I can, however, guarantee they will not visit harm upon mankind. Nay, far from it. They want to leave it into mankind's hands, I'd imagine. I, for one, never felt the gods meant us ill. Never guarantee as well, we can't possibly doubt them anymore. It is most assuring to confirm the connection between you and the 12. With this, we may proceed in our quest with easier hearts. They'll be ashamed to say goodbye to them, but it's ultimately their choice if they wish to go, whether it's go to a realm beyond this one, return to the ether, or whatever they wish. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. We shall return to the Umphalos and continue engaging with your brethren. All that as well. As I watch on, I shall pray that the tale comes to a happy conclusion for the gods and men alike. What's going on, Derek? Oh yes, on that note, I did look, and sadly, the next Hildebrand stage is not here yet. Very unfortunate. May your journey be fulfilling. Sadly, the big crystal in the Umphalos is not a proper aetheryte, so I can't teleport there, but it's not a big deal. If it was, it'd only be used like 3 times, maybe just one extra time if they felt like it. Maybe one extra time if they felt like going to doing an extra story there or something. But by and large, yeah. It wouldn't be that useful to just teleport in here like 3 times, once for each quest, and that's it. Something's amiss. The gods' avatars are nowhere to be seen. But that's because our preparations are complete. That's the last two, the Heaven of Water and the Heaven of Winds. Ah, I've waited so bloody long for this moment. Skalimelin, such uncouth words are the first you speak unto our guests? Why live off Thaleia? You can't tell me you're not as excited as I am. I'll be the first to admit my joy, but on such a momentous occasion, I would act with due propriety. Well met, children of man. 'Tis my understanding you have spoken with the Watcher and ascertained our true nature. That would be correct, yes. Indeed, we were created by Hydaelyn to tend to the star. Having built the Omphalos at its heart, our sanctums throughout the ether-rich Eorzea, we labored to preserve the balance of reality. All this we have learned, but there's still one thing we don't understand. All analysis of the Phantom revealed that you and yours dilute your very selves by fighting us. Would this not impede your ability to carry out your abilities? We appreciate your concern, but you needn't worry. I had the feeling something was up with the Dalek. I knew something was up with him, but I'm not sure who this specifically is, so let's go with... What's going on? I haven't been entirely honest with you, and for that I apologize. So when he said please, that means the Watcher was given approval to reveal it. All my brothers use various creatures of avatars. I chose the form of a man to better share in solitude. And it fell to me. Yeah, I knew something was up, but I couldn't put my hands on exactly what. The Wanderer, to beckon up onto the Omphalos, they who could grant our wish. Wow, how could you hide such a thing from us? That's true, we never even detected it. Had you known my true identity and our purpose, we feared you might refuse to fight us. But our fears were unfounded. You heeded our request and despite the hardships endeavored to grant it. Forgive me, Coda, but I must leave the little fellow in your care. In the innermost part of our realm, we shall reveal the truth in its entirety. I await your coming, with bated breath. This our grand moment, mortal. Gird your loins and have at us. I shall receive you with my all, be as a raging torrent, child of man. They don't get too many lines, but I do like how each one has a decent amount of personality to them. Some a bit more exaggerated than others, but... Still, that's only 3 of them when we have one more boss. As I said, the fact Nymeia was fought alongside her brother means that we're one fight short, so are they all going to fuse into one super god after? I actually don't blame Derek for hiding the truth. 'Tis no easy thing to say you're actually a god. Ook ook? I thought maybe it was the monkey that was, the deity, but I guess I should have realized he was giving so many death flags. I should have... Just wonderings. I cannot but wonder what Derek thought and felt. So Derek is the Wanderer, a deity who shares in men's solitude. In order to beckon us the Phantom Realm, he poses as an explorer and solicits the aid of the sons of Saint Koinek. In spite of this, I do not feel as though I've been deceived, nor do I harbor any resentment. Rather, I simply feel sad. I understand, 'tis as if a dear friend were suddenly spirited away. In hindsight, perhaps it was in expectation of the coming battle he kept men at arm's length. Ook. That must have been even harder for you. But to know that one of the 12 walked among us, it makes me want to do the best we can by them. Aye, since time immemorial, the 12 have watched over all who abide in the star. Even as they fulfilled their purpose in maintaining stability, as beings possessed of sentience, they also heeded the hearts of men. So let us likewise heed their hearts, and do our utmost to grant them their most desire. Hello, Deox, welcome. Ah, then I believe we all know what comes next. We've got ourselves a fight. Doing fine. Just doing the storyline for the last of the 24-player Alliance raid. Alright, we're gonna start at the Heaven of Water, go to the Heaven of Wind, and then we finish the fight. By all indications, this will be the final foray into the God's Sanctum. This task we entrust to you and your adventurer friends once more, Coda. Server. Excalibur. It might be full, though. There's no telling what may happen afterwards. As there's no telling what may happen afterwards, I shall remain on guard here. Twice now you've triumphed and have faith you'll do so again. Go well, Coda. Sounds good. Excalibur is one of the legacy servers, but I joined very early on, halfway into the Realm Reborn patchline, I think, so... you're on favorite? Neat. I main Reaper, as you can see, so... There we are, Thaleia, the last of the fights. As everyone else calls it. I have never seen it called that. Takes notes. Though we're sure that fulfilling the god's desire won't visit harm upon the star, I cannot worry what may come to pass. Best be prepared. Ook. For the coming foray, you shall face Thaliak in the Heaven of Water and Lymian and Oshgon in the Heaven of Wind. While Nymeia would also abide by the former, I believe she's already fulfilled her part, which should mean an easier time for you, or so I hope. Worry not, I shall hold the fort here. Pray focus on the battles ahead. Oh wow, that fast? I thought it'd be a little while. I already did the patch storyline a little later, and honestly, with DPS queues what they are, I thought this would take a little longer. Huh. Ah well. I've got the full, what's it called? I got the full, Tombstone armor set, so I should be fine. Where's like a 20-minute wait for me? Yeah, especially since I stream I don't exactly stream during peak times, so I genuinely thought it would be a while. Ooh, that's really neat. A ewer, I think that's called. I do know, however, that Alliance raids are one of the few times tank queues are really long for whatever reason. Oh, what do I mean for whatever reason? It's because you have 3 of them versus 15 DPS and 6 healers. I don't know how to explain it, but Reapers just feels very satisfying to me. Plus, when my connection was on the fritz, it was actually not hurt by lag too much.
Come, mortals. Make your way through our watery sanctum. Let us see how you fare against my servants.
Oh yeah, it's just so satisfying to cleave down tons of enemies like this. I have to do a lot of farming, and being able to cleave down groups is really nice. Crap, I forgot to apply Death Stain to these guys. That's a pain. That's a lot of damage lost. Also
Only to be expected for they who vanquished my pupil Byraga. It shall be my pleasure to welcome you personally.
I thought the patch storyline was alright. It was decent for a self-contained thing, but I guess it's a bit hard to follow up after, you know, the Endwalker main story. River of Knowledge. Ready, check.
I have looked forward to this moment, children of man. The scholar shall measure your depth of knowledge.
Something tells me I'm gonna want to be over here.
Rage at my behest.
Ah, yep.
Not all knowledge is wisdom.
I was a little late to get my, crap, my shield up.
Answer will you arrive?
That says left bank, so I'm assuming that's his left? Yeah. Yes. The super mode is the entire reason I tried out Reaper, and I liked it so much I ended up switching mains halfway through streaming this main story. Guess that tells you how much fun I've been having. Which is funny, usually I start trying out more and more new jobs at the end of each expansion, but here I've been sticking to Reaper the whole way through. I hope the Dawn Trail jobs are this much fun.
Let flow the waters of your mind. Seek new perspectives, and you shall find new paths.
see.
No wonder the others have exalted so.
Man, that red mage has some really good damage. We're fighting for second place on the aggro table.
Oh, waters purifying, reveal their nature. Tis time for attack.
Of course, he'd turn around while I'm trying to get my positionals
Share
in.
with me your ruminations.
I guess I should trust these guys. Excellent. I genuinely had no idea what was about to happen. Okay, so it's doing the Zodiac effect.
Not all answers can be obtained through might.
Just because I'm a melee doesn't mean I don't have a range attack, even if it sucks balls. I have no idea how that missed me. I guess I was right on the edge.
Prove to me the wisdom of man. Let us enlighten one another.
Gotta keep going, gotta keep going. Ow. Can't lose the finisher. Well, we're going to... Yeah, we're not going to get last minute limit break 3, so I'm just going to use it here. I simply don't want to waste it.
Well
There we are.
done, wise children. Well done.
Smooth sailing so far, I see. Come then, mortals.
I don't need the armor for this particular, I don't need armor for this job, so I can look for something else.
To face the navigator. Come on, don't keep me waiting. Let me prepare a suitable stage for our union.
Ooh. Neat effects. Well, I suppose I can't. Someone's all my wife and someone else is our wife. I can definitely see the appeal. And then for other guys, all you know what, you're right. Oh crap. Whoops.
Can you contend with she who rules the tides?
Alright, so yeah. First one side, then the other. Not bad.
My horizon touch the very sea.
Ah, so that's what that mechanic means. This is technically week 2, I think, so... but not a big deal. As I said, I'm mostly geared up for the Wild Rose. Oops.
You must make an ally of the wind. Rise above the white caps.
Communio.
Ah, you don't disappoint. Like the stormy seas, I'm a harsh mistress.
Landing. I don't like these. Alright, yeah. Okay, yeah, we have to get away from them in the correct order.
I trust you don't mind if they play too. Come, Pericles, Valios. Join us in the excitement.
Windrose. Oh crap. That was bad. We're in the
Dance upon the waves.
I got this. I don't got this. I got it. Alright, now I'm gonna blame on the lag. Or rather the snapshot being bad.
That's the way, my clever serpents.
God's Bane. That could have been pretty bad given I have 3 stacks of vulnerability.
Feel the might of the navigator! Go on, my pets. Don't be shy.
Ah. Dang it. That was awful on my end. I see. I need to pay closer attention to where they are.
As the ocean. Swim free, my pet. You can surely do better than that.
Dropping the limit break.
Bloody brilliant you are!
Ah.
To seek new horizons, you must come together as one. It falls to you and yours to navigate the seas ahead.
After all this time, it feels strange calling to us.
Only one more. Supposedly. I still wonder, will my theory
you.
from...
For making it this far.
Now, my theory last time is maybe
Not
they'll all
long
fuse
now.
into the super god or something,
Our
but
journey
that's...
together must end.
But there's also plenty of other things. We could fight the Watcher themselves as the next one, for example. "10 seconds. Now it's all my husband. Our husband.
I am the last of us to face you.
Unfortunately, this was too fast. My team buff hasn't recharged yet, but that's fine.
Strong are they who burn.
Okay, looks like I need to be careful here. I don't know what they're doing here.
Stand firm amidst the storm.
I was gonna say, kind of makes me think of Orion, but then I remembered Orion isn't a god, actually. He's mortal. Clever. I like whenever they make fun mechanics like this. Try to have the Reaper's shield up as often as I possibly can, simply because it gives a heal over time to everyone who's in range of it after it breaks, so it can help a little. Over here, you say? Sounds good to me.
Wind, guide my arrow. My bowstring sings.
I guess the Watcher being last would be thematically fitting. How would they even fight? And then again, watching does involve a lot of learning, after all.
You can overcome this. I know you can.
Dang, my damage is fine. Moving mountains. New arena, huh?
By fighting you, that strength shall be returned to the star. Go! Grant us our heart's desire.
Oh, dang.
Stay not your steps.
I don't want to be near those, I get the sense. Yeah. I have some survival instinct. I should really turn off auto-face whatever I'm attacking. Simply 4 times like that. Sometimes I want to
Those
run...
who hesitate are lost.
Oh, I saw that. I saw the safe spot. Shields up. I have no idea what I need to do this. Well, hope you guys are right, or else we're all dead, honestly. Oopsie.
I'm glad that it was you who came to us.
Why is it sounding so ominous all of a sudden?
Here our journey ends.
Oh. Ah, I see. It's the near autonomous attack.
Blessings be upon you on the road ahead.
Yeah, this is safe. We might get limit break 3 for this, or we might not. I'll see how it's looking at 10%.
May the wind ever be at your back.
You know, let's arm's length this. Yeah, I think that was a smart decision on my end. Oops. I got cocky.
Yes. Mankind has indeed grown strong.
Yeah, we're not gonna get 3, unfortunately.
The sweet soul of patron. I beg you, stay the course to the end.
The end? Isn't it already over? We beat them all. I don't need that. I need that. Exit to the Emphalos.
You're back. The Onvolus. It's suddenly transformed.
Why?
Servants? What's the meaning of this? Those ones, I leave to you.
Are we about to be turned into Lassie? Because I think we might already. Angelos. I'll ask the party. Are we about to become Lassie?
It seems we're being summoned. Go, my friend. I will stay here with the others.
Nope. They just said stay the course. No holding back. Oh crap. Well, like I said, one of the most satisfying things for me with Reaper is how well it can cleave things. Crap. Got to reapply this. See if I can hit both. Yeah, I can hit both. Although, technically speaking, if there's only 2 enemies left, it's more DPS efficient to single target each one down. Darn snapshot lag. Oh, so they're gonna all fuse into the single super god. Or we'll fight all of them at once like we did in Heaven's
The
War.
will of the star has entrusted the future to you and yours. As entities charged with ensuring life on Atheris, we rejoice in this outcome with all our hearts.
The 12. Yolgiel. Yeah. Ooh.
'Tis time, beloved children. Time to bid farewell to we relics of the past.
Mapping the realm. Thalia. I thought it might have been Asura if they were going to have a one, because the trailer preview had them in there, but... Well, they aren't obviously not the trial fight, because that's someone else entirely. Oh, interesting. Oh, right, prep Solso. I'm usually good at prepping it in dungeons, but I keep forgetting in boss fights.
See everyone.
Dawn of Time. First form. Second form. Quintessence. Ow. Well, I'm glad I was able to call it back in the back in the second tier. I'm also glad they didn't just make it Asura for that, because well, I'm not against the Final Fantasy IV references. I do think it might be a bit much. I felt the kind of same way about the Ivalice raids. Absolutely everything in that raid was basically remember Ivalice. And it's great. I did like Final Fantasy Tactics storyline and all that, but I don't know, I guess I just kind of preferred the way they did the Eden raids, where it was heavily based off Final Fantasy VIII, but didn't actually have Ultimacia or the others show up. And I know some will strongly disagree. That's just kind of how I felt about it, I guess. Like I said, I don't hate it or anything, it's just, I kind of prefer when they give their own little spin on it. Oopsie, I was a bit too quick there. Alright, full bright. Oh, I see. It's the Menfina attack. Okay, so yeah, we just need to keep going along these, and we'll be fine. Oops, I accidentally waited too long. Well, what matters is I didn't die, and I lost my, vulnerability stack, so I do think ultimately it was worth it. A dead DPS does no damage, after all. Time and tides. There we are. Ah, we just saw this mechanic. Gonna have... Great. Hello, fellow casters! Don't mind me, just using spells. Oh crap, the Ralgar Fist mechanic. That could have been bad. We just saw this mechanic. Alright, there we go. As long as we get in a circle, it should be fine. Yeah, perfect. Oops. Alright, that's the Helonious attack. As above, so below. Alright, this is the Gnawed Fall, which is gonna be a little tricky. Human Azores, yeah. They're using everything. The end. Time to unleash Limit Break 3. If we die, well, it's more than my fault, I'll say that much. Someone did the Samurai Limit Break. Can't do positionals and for this, or at least not yet. Sucks, but yeah, like I said, dead DPS deals no damage. Ow. Eulogia. Alogia. How do you even pronounce that? I'll look that up later.
resilience. In unity lies resilience.
Looks like a bard used their limit break. Well, as long as they didn't waste it. There we are.
Thank you.
Well, nice to be smiling afterward, I guess. We haven't had too many chances we've been able to do that lately. I actually do not need maiming gear. Eight. 19. I do not need the Reaper gear because I've already got my full set from the Tomestones, so I can let someone else have that. I should probably go for caster or tank gear. I didn't win anything? No, I didn't. Oh well. Leave duty. That person dressed as Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Of course I'd know something like that, wouldn't I? Kota, you alright? Thanks for clearing the way, Kota. That being, I presume, is the 12? Yep, they fused into one super god. You have done well, children of man. As promised, we shall reveal the truth in its entirety. Our desire is simply thus, to give ourselves unto the star as a blessing. In the 12 millennia we've existed, we've come to harbor tremendous power through prayers. Through battle, our essence shall unravel and return to the star where it might give a rise to new life. Such is our final gift to you. But then, you mean you'll disappear? Yes, the fragments of our former souls, which serve as the core of our existence, shall return to the life stream. Yet, though we may fade from sight, our individuality lost, our stabilizing influence shall endure. The only thing to change is where your prayers will find their way. Henceforth it shall be this, the instrument of blessing, that receives of mortal hopes, hopes it shall be given back to the star. But your presence gives comfort to mankind. Everyone would wish for you to remain, lest you truly fade away? Such gladdening things you say, child. We must confess that what we do, we also do for ourselves. When mankind overcame the final days, it so moved us, even we who are but constructs, knew the greatest joy. You have shown your unfaltering love for the world, and in return, we would show our undying love for you. Worry not, myths are wont to be woven and passed down. So long as men hold the 12 in fondness, we shall live on your faith in us. But when you say such things, the moment of parting has come. By our blessing, may you march towards a brighter future. I see, so this is basically a larger scale thing of what Thoradin did in Heaven's Ward. The 12 Heaven's Ward were technically only Thoradin himself was the primal. The rest, farewell, beloved children. The rest were effectively constructs, people blessed, quote-unquote, blessed by him to become the Heaven's Warden, the Knights 12. So it seems Hydaelyn did something similar, just on a larger scale, creating just, more benevolent. When you're ready, brothers and sisters. May the font of your ingenuity ever flow. Yours is the strength to destroy obstacles. Abide in virtue, hold fast to the truth. There is meaning in your deeds, celebrate life and embrace death. May you flourish and reap a bountiful harvest. In your limited time, you have boundless compassion. Carry yourself with honor and forge on towards victory. Harbor love in your heart for yourself, for others, and for the world. From past to future, the river of knowledge flows. Be part of its nourishing waters. May a wonderful new world greet you beyond destiny's horizon. Be calm as the ocean, you shall weather any storm. I guess it was for the best Nymeia came a little early, because that allowed me to have a conversation that otherwise might not have existed. As the wind blows unfettered, may you be free to follow your heart. Wonder what those who had Ulshan as their guardian feel. I actually do kind of wonder. You needn't agonize so. Oh, Ulshan? Lone's voice. Remain with them, if that is your desire. But this is what we dreamed of, to return to the star together. I just never imagined I would grow so fond of them that parting would be so hard. Long as we have abided in patience to rejoin the life stream, or drop in the river of time that is man's fleeting life, why not share your fate with them? Follow your heart as you ever have. Seriously, crying again. When the time comes, we shall meet again. I've decided to continue journeying just a little longer. That I'm still here, I can scarce believe it myself. It cannot have been easy for Derek to break with his decision. I should like to hear what went through his mind. He's back, he's really back. Ook ook. Words can't express my surprise when I open my eyes to see Derek standing there. I'm naturally curious what happened, but above all, I rejoice for a dear friend returned. I expect Derek has a few words to say. Let us lend him an ear. I need to sip my drink. This has been quite emotional, surprisingly. Alright. One among wonders. 12-fold blessings. Derek is the very picture of peace. Ah, what to say in such a moment? Best to speak from the heart, I suppose. I'm glad to be back. Charlie was the one who spent the most time with us. And we're glad to have you back. Glad hardly suffices to describe it. We're over the moon they're still here, Derek, or should I call you Oscon? I no longer have Oscon's power. Derek will do. So he's just a normal human now. I was remade from the portion of my essence that wasn't returned to the star, and live out my days as a man. I ask what happened. No sooner had the 12 vanished than you reappeared before us. At the very last, I couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear to say farewell. Your earnest friendship had weighed down my steps. And the little fellow's fervent call halted them. I was overwhelmed by the keenest longing to remain among you and see more of the world I love. Upon seeing me torn, my brethren bade me to follow my heart. I needed no further urging. We created the instrument of blessing in the faith that one day the star would no longer need our guiding hand. Thanks to you, that day has finally come. Hey, happy to help. Especially since punching things until it solves the problem is what I do best. Ah, but I ramble, how uncharacteristic. Let's head back to the Omphalos, shall we? Well, we must return to Charlie, and the forum will be expecting a report. If the entire truth were revealed to the public, it would shake the very foundation of worship of the 12. Aye, in penning our report, we would do well to consult the forum on what details are safe to disclose. Much pertaining to the field of mythology will need to be obfuscated, I fear. Yeah, I mean, we may have halted the end of the world, but people are gonna be a bit freaked out about the idea that the gods have all, left. But the same, oh, no, were it not on my account, inspired by findings, I have a mind to examine the 12 in context of reception theory. The people's perception of deities are wont to be informed by their culture. By comparing the differences across eras and regions, I believe we may heretofore may uncover unseen aspects of the 12. Yeah, it's been a recurring theme in this game that faith can change reality itself. Perception theory, you say? Most intriguing. I'd like to see the results of your research when I visit Charlian. When you do, have care not to reveal who you used to be. Our scholars will be all over you like starved beasts. I see. Perhaps I shall wait for a while before I come calling. Before I came to you, I simply roamed the world. I had no objective, nothing specific I wished to find. With the second chance I have, I'd like to undertake my trials with a renewed perspective. But ere I set out... What's that? I would move my brethren's hopes elsewhere, to a place in men's midst. Oh, what a wonderful idea. If you don't mind, we should like to accompany you. By all means, we make for the Sanctum of the 12, in the East Shroud. Ah, a place important both to the 1.0 and the Realm Reborn storyline. Sanctum 12, I couldn't imagine a more fitting place for their memories. The words of the monument are a promise by which the gods to watch over mankind. 'Tis comforting to know the promise will endure. As engrossed as we've been in our work, we've seldom had the chance to gather and relax. The last and only time we've been in... The last and only time would have been the meal in Revenant's Toll, I think. Feel free to go ahead, my friend. This won't be my last time here. I need a moment before I leave. Ook. Yeah, that's also the location where the marriage event takes place. I haven't really done it with anyone. Eh. I probably should, if only because you get a handful of neat items for it, but it does cost real-world money for it, so maybe not. Sorry, sneeze there. Hopefully I muted the mic in time. Oh. Right, it's in front of the Sanctum of the 12, not in the Sanctum of the 12. I've been to a few of the ceremonies, simply attending, which is free, you just need an invitation. This is all you need. These are non-hostile foes, so I don't need to worry about it. I guess to answer the main question, I don't regret picking Nymeia the Fate Spinner as my guardian. And I guess in the end I'm glad we fought her a little early, since obviously we got a bit more dialogue with her, which we would not have had if she was here with Thaleia. No matter how many times I visit the Sanctum, Its Majesty never ceases to move me. And rich history. Originally built during the dawn of the 5th Astral Era, it was reclaimed by the Wood before being restored in the wake of the Calamity. Truly, it stands a testament to the influence that magical civilizations city-states have had upon Eorzean culture. The Sanctum harbors the hopes of men, and now those of my brethren shall join them. If you are not averse, I would speak a little of my brethren, that is, those individuals whose essence lent them form. As it pertains to another age, some concepts may be foreign, but would you be interested nonetheless? Of course. Ah, excellent. Farragut was a man with a gift for creating inanimate objects such as buildings and furnishings. With his abilities, he served a supervisory role at the Bureau of the Architect, where he was nothing short of a pillar. His chief was carefree to a fault, you see, and took it upon himself to ensure that work was done. Ralgar was a very brawny man whom Venat encountered on her travels. They quickly struck up a friendship, and he joined her on a quest to destroy an enormous meteor hurtling towards a star. It is fair to say this event gave rise to legends surrounding the destroyer. Azema was a woman who served as a judicial officer in the Bureau of Administrator, an experience which served her well as the warden. She was an ardent proponent of the seat of Azem, and dreamt of training under Venat and her successor. Naldthal was a close personal friend of mine, a merchant by trade. He was outwardly gregarious, but also possessed reserve, blah, 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 a reserved side and knew quiet joy in his passion for ore. When man began treating him as a dual-aspected god, it reminded me of the person he used to be, and I couldn't help be struck with the pang of nostalgia. Nalfaka was a landscape architect of great repute who grew plants gathered from the star over. Despite being skilled in magic, she preferred to nurture plants as nature intended, and her garden ever bloomed with beautiful flowers. All who visited were said to leave with their souls salved. Althic was a researcher who observed newly made creations in Elpis. Might have even seen him while we were in there at some point. Although it was his sister's urging that he first joined our faction, he soon became a stalwart believer in the cause, and always took initiative in the discussion. Halone was a formidable warrior tasked with hunting creations that were deemed detrimental to the star. For her prowess, she'd been regarded as the leading candidate for the seat of Pashtaroth, preserver of discipline and order. Menfina was the youngest, a student affiliated with the Words of La Habrea at the Academia Aender. Even with that prestigious institution, she was considered even within that prestigious institution, she was considered a prodigy, and hers were the hands that created the magic to isolate and seal Zodiark. Thaleia was headmaster of Academia Aender, a man of learning and leadership both. He presided over the institution's myriad faculties. No known phenomenon existed in which he wasn't versed. Words do not do justice to express the remarkable scholar that he was. Nymeia was an observer and Elp, just like her brother Althic. She possessed a caring and inquisitive nature, and was liked and trusted by her peers. Liminian was a researcher at Metabesos Thalassa, a facility for the observation and evaluation of sea life. So passionate was she about her work, that she once threw a knife at someone who inadvertently came too close to her observation subject. So echoes of their past selves remain in each, despite how much they've been shaped by prayers and faith. Oskan was a traveler with whom Venat encountered in the wilderness. They shared a campfire and discussed at length what it meant to be free. Leaving my hopes as the wanderer in this place, I shall set forth anew as simply a man named Derek. And last but not least, the Watcher. He was a chief archivist in the Amnesis Aender, and respected Venat deeply as an individual, even as he cared for her as a dear friend. Indeed, among our number, none was more devoted to Venat, and that devotion made him best suited to his duty and the solitude that accompanies it. That is all. 'Tis a lot to remember, but I should be glad if they remain with you, in some way. We're grateful that you would share with us these new aspects of Heidel and the 12. Thank you. Well, 'tis past time we headed back to Charlian. Wouldn't do to keep Ojika waiting. I assume you'll be traveling via Limsa, in which case allow us to see you off from there. Till now I've wandered alone, but as I've recently learned, a journey is better shared. This is definitely one of those situations where Or I definitely would like to see what the community thinks, but I imagine somebody's already asked that very question. Probably on Twitch, well, maybe not Twitch, the forum, but definitely on the forums, on Reddit, and the possibly even Twitter. They probably would ask threads where people think their opinions on the gods now that we actually met each one. Admittedly, I was kind of hoping there'd be a unique scene where you meet with your guardian one last time, but I guess that might have been a lot. That would mean, I guess that'd mean like 12 different scenes. Although I'm guessing that's probably why they had you speak with most of them at the last quest there, like I did. Simply because it was unfeasible to give everyone their own unique talk. Ook. Our friends are presently booking their passage. I swear, I'd give Derek a different voice every time I voice him. And that's probably going to continue if he ever shows up again, but that's a big if. Ah, that's where you were. There's room aboard the next ship. We'll be setting sails shortly. Oh, Derek, no sooner did we arrive in such a crowded place, they up and disappear. Ah, 'tis a force of habit, to avoid people. But I needn't do so anymore, do I? On the contrary, I should embrace the chance to connect with other souls. Or the human experience, after all. As our comrades, we completely agree. And remember, you're always welcome to the Baldestian Annex, so be sure to pay us a visit. You may depend on it. Thank you, Derek, for giving us your trust. Thank you as well, Coda. Had you not been with us, we would have struggled to grant the 12 their wish. Well, we had best find our vessel. While the report remains to be compiled, I believe we can officially declare our investigation complete till we next meet, my friends. I'm holding on the best of my availability. You still have time, Coda. For you? Of course. Ere I embark on my journey, there's a place nearby I'd like to visit. Might I ask you to accompany me? By all means. Thank you. Come, we shall head outside the city from the Tempest Gate. Limsum's usually the most popular starting city because the main aetheryte where you teleport in is right next to all the shops and market boards, as well as the bells for retainers. I'll probably stick to Charlian though, since that's also in a very ideal location, but let's see, you're outside the Tempest Gate. Here we are. Here, the wind whips in from the sea like a storm, but I've always found the sensation quite invigorating. Lest you wonder, I intend to strike west, then make my way through upper and outer Lenosha. And in order to mark my new beginning as man, en route, I wish to see Oscon's embrace with you. You need only accompany me across the bridge. From there, I shall continue on my own. I see I'm not the only one doing this quest. Oh no, they're doing a different quest. Such a great wave that was... Such a great wave that ripped the god's grip from the mainland. In the wake of the calamity, my brother and I were all occupied with our respective duties. This is my very first time seeing the bridge. Shall we then? Follow Derek's lead and try not to fall behind. This is already quite an impressive sight to behold. Yeah, this is a new bridge. I don't believe it's in 1.1. So it's temporarily constructed with wood. Ah, such an invigorating breeze. Target is occupied. Oh, a fairy. Fairies. Your beauty truly knows no bounds. Now, this is another reason people really like to start in Limsa Lominsa. It's got such a beautiful... Oh, forgive me, I was lost in thought. Did I bind walking to shift? Thought I... No, I had to bind it to control. Or I might have forgotten what I bound it to entirely. I'll look at it later. I look forward to the bridge's completion. This is a fine bridge, boasting splendid views and brimming with life. Very image of man's determination to overcome adversity. I'm honored that it should be named Oskon. Well, this is as far as I asked you to come. If you're willing, might we converse a little more? I was about to say, well, if you want me to stick around a little longer, I don't have anything better to do. It occurs to me, I hadn't asked your opinion of the 12. How do you personally perceive us, or what you felt when you faced us? Your words from the heart. I'd like to take it with me as a memento. There's definitely going to be a lot to talk about, that's for sure. That's so. The others will be glad to hear that. Thank you for humoring me, Coda, and apologies for keeping you so long. I'm ready to set forth now, to witness a world filled with our blessing. Ook ook. To begin with, I shall tour Lenosha and visit those locales which are named after the 12, after which I shall go wherever the wind blows, I suppose. Together with this fellow, of course, until such time he tires of my company. This time I shall embrace the joy of meeting and accept the sorrow of parting. When the time comes for me to return the star, I shall share my experiences with my brethren. Needless to say, your words will feature prominently in my recounting. You shall continue your own journeys, will you not? That's the plan. Dawn Trail's coming up pretty soon. Not too soon, but at the time of streaming, but soon enough. And I shall look out for you there. Fare you well, my friend. May the 12 bless you and keep you. Guess the monkey wanted to say goodbye too. Myths of the Realm. Storyline. By completing storing profits of paying a certain deities among the 12 will be available for purchase. 4 AORs, yeah, 4 AORs. I've got quite a few orc rolls now. A bittersweet ending, to be sure. Oh, with their low level. Yeah, with their low level, they're probably leveling an alt job. That reminds me, but I'm gonna sign off shortly. It's a bit short, but I did complete the story and all that. But there is one last thing I'd like to grab. Or rather, one last thing I want to check, because we've done a lot with the 13th. Is he still here? Pleasure as always, Coda. What'd you ask of me? Oh. I guess since he only really has relevance to the Warring Triad story, and that's technically an optional side story, they didn't want to tie it in too much to the main plot. They already had to go through hell and high water to get people to do Crystal Tower just for Shadowbringers until they eventually went, okay, I'm no longer asking, you have to do it. Yeah, I should probably repair my stuff, shouldn't I? Well, got a few more minutes. Yeah, I know there's a repair station up here because this is where I hung out when I was doing the Realm Reborn quest a lot. Alrighty, so where to... Am I supposed to go again? Oh yeah. I was gonna go to Razat Han because... Yeah, since I no longer need the, since there's no Hildebrand for the next stage of my relic, all that's left is to get the relic for my Red Mage. Pretty much entirely for glamour purposes, but... I think that's it. If not, then I've officially embarrassed myself on stream. So, sounds like a win-win. Make another weapon. Make another Manderville. Greetings and salutations, Master Blue. I stand willing and ready to aid you in the creation of any Manderville weaponry you desire. Before we can refill, we need meteorite. Yep. I suppose it's fitting that a Manderville weapon you basically just, you know, purchase. Ah, yes, the meteorite chunks. I certainly was expecting... a Hanish curry and a bottle of chilled lassi. No, indeed. The extraction process will take a moment. I shall call upon Master Geralt. Not bad. Another masterpiece. You now the proud Manderville Rapier. Red Mage weapons always look great. Bravo, you're truly inspiration. Never could I have achieved such perfection alone, certainly not within the constraints of excess clothing. All in a day's work. I trust you're satisfied. Should you ever wish to expand your weaponry, I'm at your service for the foreseeable future. Hmm. Hmm. Hammering it up. Excellent. I still kind of like the Pyros or Eureka weapons a bit better, but I can worry about glamorous stuff later. For now, I think now is a good time to go ahead and call it. Well, that was the entire Myths of the Realm storyline. And yet another Manderville weapon is mine. Alright. Well, until next time, thank you for watching, hope you had a good time, and I'll see you later.